everybody, and welcome to the This Old Knit podcast. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine, on all of the social medias, and you can find show notes for this episode and previous episodes in the down bar of the corresponding YouTube video. Thank you all for joining me. For those who are returning, welcome back, and for new viewers, welcome. I podcast normally bi-weekly, but I happen to have some time to podcast. However, it is extremely sunny. I've picked the worst possible time to record, but ni modo. This is the time that I have time to do it. I am sort of angled to try to not be in the sun, but that means you get to see part of my background that is not so great. So it's a pile of boxes that I keep my crafting supplies in. This is the boxes from all of the Plies and Pages book boxes. I have like beads in one. I think I've got some like paper crafting supplies in another one. And then I've got like a long-term blanket and one of those woven baskets that has some Plutolopi in it. So anyway, it's a little bit of a mess over here, and I apologize. Usually this is my background, just a little more organized, but we're gonna do what we can do, right? So for this week, I have an FO, some whips. I am sharing like some future project-y type things, and as part of that I'll show a previous acquisition that I haven't shared on the podcast before, but I'm going to use it for that project. And I got it at I think it was a pre-order for Indie Untangled or Neff. No, it was not. It was the fall term update of Plies and Hellhounds. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use it in a sweater, and so I will show it to you today. And that's kind of how I'm going to do acquisitions, I think, because otherwise it just ends up with me showing a lot of things, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the right style for me. I used to do that, and I don't know. I do have the window open because it is really warm today. So it is 60 degrees, which for Connecticut in February is really, really warm. This winter was really warm overall. We had a couple of snowstorms, but December was warm, and then January was cold, but we're back to being warm again. So our winter was only a month, which I kind of hate. Winter is my second favorite season. Fall is my favorite season, but winter is my second favorite, and it feels like it gets shorter and shorter every year. So that sucks, but we do what we do. Okay. I also wanted to announce that I have a giveaway for this week. So I've been kind of organizing my yarn and putting it together into combinations that I want to use and all of that jazz. And I noticed that I have a skein of Volanvine that I'm not going to use, so I want to share it with all of you. So I bought from her, it's like a mystery update. So for a while there, Kristen was doing like colors that you didn't know what it was going to be, but it was a little bit cheaper, and you could get it on a few different bases. So I had purchased 2 skeins of DK and 2 skeins of fingering weight for one of the mystery clubs, and I'm going to use the other one of these in a fade. So that leaves me with one that I won't use, and it'll just sit in my stash. So it is a sort of, what would I say that is? I don't know. It's a Kristen color. It's very unique. It's like a muted green with some brown and then speckles of a very light red, burgundy. It's more of a burgundy. The colorway name is Cinematic. It's on the Footsie base, and it's really pretty. But like I said, I got 2 of the fingering weight. I'm going to use one of them with a couple of other colors that I have. So yeah, I wanted to give it away to all of you. So for the prompt, maybe tell me your favorite season or something that you would like to see on the podcast. So either one will work. Just go ahead and comment, and I will draw a winner and announce it on the next episode. So, yep. Bowling Vine Yarns, Footsie base, chromatic colorway. If this is something you are interested in winning, tell me your favorite season or what you would like me to do on the podcast. So there you go. And thank you to everybody. Good luck. All right. So finished objects. Let's start with those. Or that, because there's only one. But I was almost done with this the last time that I podcasted. So it is the Chalet Days sweater by Samantha Guerin Designs, and it is a test knit for Samantha. So I finished it up maybe the weekend after I podcasted last, I think. But it is a colorwork yoke pattern, top down in the round. The main color of the sweater is Knit Picks City Tweed Aran, or HW. I think it's heavyweight, but it's an Aran weight yarn. The colorway is Obsidian, and then my contrast colors are Plies and Hellhounds Pole DK on, or it is in the Sorcière colorway, which was a Plies and Pages colorway. She actually just did an update that has this yarn in it, and I was able to snag some skeins of it. I used my gift card from my sister for Christmas. So thank you, Missy, for that lovely gift card. It helped out so I could get a sweater quantity. And then I held it double with Mohair, which is her fig lace base. And it was in the Winter Maker Moon colorway, but I think that they go really, really well together. So this sweater has so much halo because the Knit Picks City Tweed has alpaca in it. So it is an alpaca wool nylon blend. And then we've got, of course, the halo from the mohair. So it is a super warm and snuggly sweater, which of course now it's 60 degrees, so I won't get to enjoy it for very long this season, but that's okay. It's Connecticut. It will get cold again. So I will be able to enjoy it in the fall, I think, when it's chilly enough that you want a sweater, but you're not ready to get your coat out yet. This would be a great, like, sweater and no coat sweater. So modifications that I did to the pattern, they were many. I took out a lot of the underarm stitches. When I separated for the sleeves, I took out, I think, almost 10 stitches, maybe 10 stitches on each side. I can't remember. I only cast on 2 stitches under the arms. And then I did waist decreases and back decreases. This is the first time I've done back decreases, but they're right here. I think I did 3 sets of them. And then at the bottom, I increased back out basically all of my decreases for the hips. So you can definitely see the shaping on the side, but that is how I am shaped. I'm very top heavy, and my waist is like 10 inches smaller than my chest, so I have to bring it along. I did 1 size smaller needle on the neck ribbing than I did on the bottom ribbing and the sleeves. I used an 8 for the color work, a 7 for the main body, a 6 for the ribbing, and a 5 for this ribbing because I wanted this to really pull it in because the neckline was pretty big, and I wanted to have it be cinched in and not like, so you can see my bra straps. So anyway, I think on some of the samples that have been knit, this is a little bit more open on the neck, but that's the great thing about knitting your own sweaters, right? That you can make it the way you want, and I wanted my neckline to be a little more pulled in. But it has been washed and blocked, so it's super soft, and I love it so, so much. I think the pattern is going to come out like the end of February. So hopefully you guys will check it out. I will post on Instagram when it comes out so that you can all see that it's available. But I really enjoyed test knitting for Samantha again. This is my second sweater I test knit for her. She's great. Her patterns are wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, and I reversed the charts. I wasn't the only one that did that though. So she did update the way the chart was charted so that it's more clear what's the main color and the contrast color. But I think it looks really good that way, so I'm not mad about it at all. So that is that. With that though, I'm definitely going to take a break from test knits because I did a test knit for Samantha, then I did a test knit for Selma, then I did another test knit for Samantha, and I kind of need to not have deadline knitting for a little while because there's a lot of projects going on at work. To be like turning away from the sun this whole time. Anyway, there's a lot of projects that I'm working on at work, and I can't have a lot of projects for knitting too. I need to so I'm not going to do test knits for a while, but obviously I'm still going to be knitting, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of forgiveness on how much I can complete in any given time. So now everything is behind me, which sucks because I had to keep turning. Let's start with whips, and we're just going to work our way top down because that's how we roll. So this is in a bag that was made for me by my friend Sue, who's Crafty Knitter 7, and her Etsy shop, or no, it's not an Etsy shop. I think she just has a website. It's the Tangled Skeins CA. And she makes project bags and also like the things you put over your cake of yarn so that it doesn't like collapse on itself, or as it collapses on itself, it's contained. I don't have any of those to show you though. But this one is like her smaller, snappy sock bag. So they basically can hold a pair of socks. The really tiny ones that I have can only hold one skein of yarn, and it's kind of hard to put your, like if you had 2 skeins like this plus a sock, they'd be a little tight, but I think they're great if you use them like a basket, which is how I tend to use mine, more like this. So they're perfect for me, like with it open and the top folded down. I think that works great. And I also have 2 other ones she gave me that I use for other things, not knitting. So one I have my cross stitch thread in, and the other one, I think I've got like some notions and stuff in it. But anyway, they're really great. I also sometimes use them to separate skeins for a project. So you'll see later with my Very V-neck raglan that because I was knitting mohair and fingering weight yarn held double, I have like 2 of the skeins in one of these, and then I snap them so that the ends are coming up around the snaps. So it doesn't get as tangled up in my bag. That's been really helpful because otherwise I was having to stop periodically to untangle everything. So big tangent there. But anyway, these are my Gumi socks. So it is Bergère de France Gumi 50. I finished the heel flap, turned the heel, and I'm working on the gusset now. So these are socks for me. And I love the striping pattern. They're very easy. They are just plain old vanilla socks, 64 stitches. These are my current knitting while I'm on conference calls socks. And let's see here. Rolls behind me again. One of my other acquisitions, it was gift, is Sue sewed me some bags for my birthday and sent me a package, and they were just full of stuff. I'm not going to show all the stuff that was inside of there because there was a lot, but there was some like washi tape and pens and stuff like that. There was a chart marker, page flags, this very cute little needle gauge, and I think you can use it for spinning as well because it's got this little chunk that you could like do wraps per inch there. Sorry, my elbow's really itchy. It's the time of year for dry skin. But anyway, she found this great fabric. Oh my god, can you even? It's Great Pyrenees with coffee, two of my favorite things. So she made me a bigger sock sack. I think these are the bigger snap ones. And this is a really great size. This is like the size that I like. It's a little bit bigger than that one. Then it's got a little notions pouch. And she made me a bigger zipper bag. And this has pockets inside of it. They're all so nice, Sue. They're beautiful. So yeah, there's like pockets. Yeah, pockets in the side. I put all of my journaling stuff in here because we are going to do reading journals. Megwin and I are going to do reading journals whenever they get here. We ordered them from Notebook Therapy, and they're coming from Japan. So, Japan or North, or is it Japan or South Korea? I can't remember. Anyway, Notebook Therapy is who we ordered them from. So I have some like stencils, one of those pop-up pencil cases, and some stamps, like bullet journaling stamps coming, and some more washi tape. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. I blame Gabby in the best possible way, and she also linked me to the Mochi Bujo channel, and her stuff is super inspirational. So if you are interested at all, you definitely should check her out. And she also has like coupon codes, so I was able to get percentages off. But there's the washi tape from Sue, so it's really cute. There's like balloons and birds and flowers. And then, like I said, page flags. She gave me a journal, like a little notebook. This one's lined. The ones I ordered are bullet journals for doing the reading journal. But I'm also thinking about doing like a recipe journal to put all my recipes in one place, but make it more interesting than just like a cookbook. I'd like to put, you know, some stuff around it, like stickers and fun things. So yeah, that was my gift from Sue, and it was great, and I love it so much. So that is going to be my notebooking bag, because I think I can fit my notebook in there also. And in the little notions pouch, there was some stitch markers. Okay. And then, in this bag, I finished my first sock from the Cozy Knitter Joyful set. This first one was done through the heel probably like 2 years, and it just sat in a bag. So I finally have finished sock number 1. And so I've got this much yarn left from sock number 1. It's quite a bit. I might be able to get a pair of socks for Joshua out of it, and maybe I'll use like a green or something for the heel, toe, and cuff. But we'll see. We'll see how much I have left for the second one. It was a sock set though, so it came with this contrasting color, so I did use it for the heel, toe, and cuff. But I did have enough that I probably could have knit the whole sock out of the self-striping color. So anyway, that was nice to have a sock done. And I need to cast on the second one, but all of my sock needles are currently occupied with socks. So I can't cast on a second one. Let me throw stuff that way. We'll be consistent. Okay, this one has not been cast on yet, but I purchased the new pattern by Joji Locatelli called Marble Mount. It's really pretty. So it is a top-down circular yoke, and it's got these really pretty lace panel details, and it's a little bit of like a faux turtleneck neckline, and it's just really simple, clean lines, and I really, really liked it. So I bought it right away, and I'm going to use the No Poison Day yarn. This is from Plies and Hellhounds. It was her Christmas colorway for this year. I think I have it on the Tesla base, pretty sure. Which I've never knit with before. So it is her BFL Silk Cashmere blend. And it is an Ice Planet Barbarians reference. But I think that'll be really pretty. So anyway, that will go on the needles, but because the weather has gotten warmer, I felt really inspired to cast on something warm weather-ish, and I don't usually have the inspiration to cast on like spring or summer knits. So I figured I better, grab that train and ride it. It's in my TARDIS bag that a friend drew for me. So it's a TARDIS, but it's got like yarn balls exploding out of it. I've been using tote bags a lot more frequently because I've noticed that they hold enough yarn for a sweater, and I have a lot of them. Okay, this one's in an Honest tote bag. We used to get their stuff for cloth diapers. And every year at Halloween, they had a free tote bag if you ordered stuff. So I have several of their Halloween tote bags, and we always use them for our trick-or-treat bags. But they're really nice. Like, they're big and super durable, and I love this one because it's just a big pumpkin, and I am a pumpkin fan. So anyway, I picked back up my Junction sweater. This is a pattern by Andrea Mowry, and it is a very, very dark printout because my printer was having issues. So it's basically the same yoke as the Vintage 83, which I made the short sleeve top. But the difference is instead of a textured body, it has like the flea pattern on it. So it's all over color work. And I had had the neckline done for quite a while. I think I finished it like last January, and then it just sat in a bag with the yarn and I didn't touch it. So I picked it back up and I started on the brioche, and brioche is really, really addictive, especially two-color brioche. For me, like, I can just sit and do it and not think about it. So here it is. So just so you can see the colors. So I'm using a ball of County Effect Yarn that my mom gave to me a long time ago, before I moved away from Ohio, so at least 5 years ago. but it does this. So it does a rainbow, but it started on the yellow. So I'm sort of doing a backwards rainbow because I started in the middle, and so it's going yellow, green, blue, purple, and then it'll be maroon, and then red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Anyway, for the first one, the color was too long because it has very long color runs. So it was too long for me to get to the green before my next set, and I didn't want the whole yoke to just be yellow. So I did wind off and cut the yarn. Normally what it tells you to do is just carry the other color up, but I didn't. So I cut it here just so that I could get to the green. Now the circumference is big enough that I do think I will be out of the green and into the light blue for the next ring of brioche. So I'm about halfway through the brioche on the second ring of stuff. The one thing I'm not sure about on the pattern, and I probably should have read ahead, is whether or not it has short rows below this, because it did not have any short row shaping up here, and if I had thought about it, I probably should have added some. That would have been a good addition, and I didn't add it. And I'm concerned below it that there's going to be a problem because it immediately goes into the color work. So bringing up the back without making it look weird just might not be possible. I don't know. So anyway, I've just been working a bit on that. So my contrast color is County Effect Garn. My main color, this is Blacker Yarns. It's the fingering weight version. It's the classic, Blacker Yarns Classic, but I don't remember what the fingering weight is. It's discontinued, so it doesn't matter. You can't get it unless if you go get D-Stash. The thing I'm worried about is I might not have enough for the sweater, but when has that ever stopped me before? If I have to, I'll do 3/4 sleeves. That's okay. Or I could do the sleeves in the County instead. So I could have like really bright ribbing. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do. I think I will have enough. I have 5 balls of it. And I think that according to the pattern for my size, that should be enough. I'm being really careful with not doing long tails, and I'm not gonna alternate skeins. So we'll see. Worst case scenario, I'll just have to make it shorter and then it'll be a sweater for Megwin, which is fine too. Anywho, so that is that. That's the Junction sweater by Andrea Mowry. And Very Deep Stash. Yay! This is also sort of deeper stash. So I had a sock started for Josh that I found when I was cleaning out from under the couch. I don't know how this bag got under there, but there was a bag under there that was a Ziploc bag, and it had a sock leg knit out of Regia Perfect. So this is Regia Perfect. I don't have the tag to tell you which one it is, but it's a 72 stitch count sock that I'm doing, and Regia Perfect is supposed to be that you can knit one sock and then you get to this yellow yarn in the center, and then the other one will knit exactly the same. So what I did is I wound it and then cut it and wound the other one. So that is that. I didn't want to have one big ball of yarn. So here's the cake that I have left for this one. And then I will knit the second one. If I run out of yarn before I get to the toe, I'll just put on a plain black toe. That's fine with me. Yeah, so I've made quite a bit of progress on it. I think I can sort of feel the ridge where like I picked it back up because it was sitting there with no needles in it. I think I ripped the needles out to go use them on something else. So I had to pick back up stitches and put it back on the needle. So yeah. I have a Charmed and Dangerous Progress Keeper on there. This is like a tiramisu from the Coffee Lovers Club, Stitch Marker Club that I was part of. And it's in another bag from Sue. This one I think was for Christmas last year? Anyway, it's got a clear window so you can see what's in there. And it's like a canvas, so it's very sturdy. Yeah, so I really love it, and it's perfect. It's a great size for socks. And apparently I'm the sock knitter again. When did that happen? I was a sock knitter for many years, for those who haven't been watching for a while. But I became a sweater knitter, and I stopped being a sock knitter, and now I'm back to knitting socks, but I still knit sweaters. But socks are really easy for like taking with you, and now everybody in my house wants socks, so I can always make more socks. Gosh, there are a lot of needles in here. Randomly. Alright. I think I have what? 2 more things? I have 2 more things. 2 more things. Okay, so this I've been also working on mostly today and yesterday, but it is my Vienna sweater by Olga Albrecht. It's getting there, guys. So now I'm just brioching forever and ever and ever. But the brioche is getting somewhere. This is like a decent length of brioche. So I need to look at the bottom. It might be garter stitch. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've actually looked at the pattern. I do have it in here. Let's see. No, it looks like it just finishes with brioche, so it just kind of ends. See if there's a schematic. Is there a schematic? The schematic shows it as though it gets sucked in on the bottom. I'm not sure, but it looks like it's all tucked in, so it's really hard to tell. It could also just be garter. Anyway, I did find my other color, because if you can see, they've got they bring in the contrast for the cuffs, and I do have it. I wasn't sure if I had gifted it, not remembering that I needed to have it for the rest of the sweater, but I've got it. So the top, I made this section, the 2-color brioche section. This is Fireheart from Flies and Hellhounds. So I did it on the ginger base and the fig lace base, held double. And this is how much I have left, so plenty for doing the cuffs. And then I probably would have some extra for maybe like mittens for the kids or something, which I like to use mohair for kid mittens because it makes them really, really warm. The other color I'm using is Buzzard. And for those who are Throne of Glass fans, Fireheart and Buzzard need to be together. So they're together in my sweater. So yeah, it is a top-down circular yoke, basically all over brioche except for these garter panels here, which are where your increases are. But otherwise, it is 2-color brioche and then 1-color brioche on the bottom. I'm only alternating skeins by I'm using one skein for one part and one for the other, and that has effectively alternated them for me on the body. And then the sleeves are also 1-color brioche and then 2-color brioche on the very end, and then garter on the cuff. So I'm not doing any shaping because it's basically like an all over ribbed sweater. So it's gonna suck in anyway. The one thing I don't care for is that I think I did something wrong on the garter because I have a definitive seam there. And I don't know what happened that made me have that seam. So you can really tell that there's like a seam on the back. But it's okay. I really like it. It's a very soothing project. I find brioche to be very soothing and meditative, so I'm enjoying it. And I've got a little tag, a bag tag from Katrinkles on it, so I know what's in it. I love these things so much. All right, and the last thing I'm working on is my Very V-neck raglan, which is a pattern by Jessie Made Designs. And I am pretty far on this one too. It's probably got a few more inches, and then I'm gonna have a really deep ribbing on it. So I may not go super farther. I think I'm gonna go to where like the sweater itself touches my like waistband. And then the rest is going to be ribbing because I want it to be like a big deep ribbing. And then it's got this deep V-neck, which I'll also go put ribbing on. And I want the sleeves to be kind of long and floaty on the end. I think they don't even have ribbing. They've got, I don't know, something so that it's a little more bell sleeved. Maybe garter, not sure. But anyway, the colors I'm using, this is Pumpkin from Flies and Hellhounds. I'm again holding it double with mohair because I'm a monster and I love it. This was yarn I purchased, I think last October. It was when she first came out with her fall term collection. I fell completely in love with this color, this warm pumpkin color. I love it so much. It just screams fall to me. And it is the most glorious and beautiful orange. So, yep. Yeah, I've done a bunch of decreases on this one as well. Lots of back decreases, lots of waist decreases. I did some waist decreases just on the back along the sides. Just taking a lot of material out. So if I were to knit something by Jessie Made again, I would size down because I think there's a lot of ease built in the pattern. She's a very size inclusive designer and I want to support her. So I just need to know that about her designs, that they seem to have some ease built into them. And yeah, I would go down a pattern size so I didn't have to do quite so much shaping next time, but it's fine. I'm not ripping it out. And here you can see what I've done. So this has really helped with my yarn management. It's still tangled even with this, but essentially I took 2 of the mini ball sacks, I think is what she calls them, from Sue. They perfectly hold 2 cakes of yarn. So there's my mohair coming out of one side and I've snapped it, and then I think I'm using the penny base because it's really, really pudgy, which is for MCN, out of the other side. and it's kept it from tangling, but you keep your two colors together. And then I've got the other two on this side, same deal. I snapped it so that they are together but separate, so they're not tangling on each other, and I can have all that yarn in here. I really want to sew more Finch bags because this bag is like the perfect size and shape for me, and I have two of them. They are from Diane, who is Canned Music. She does sell bags, so the Finch bags are great, and they've got a lot of pockets. They have pockets basically all the way around, but the Finch bag is also a free pattern. So if you sew your own bags, you could sew one. I think there's two sizes also. There's a large Finch and a small Finch. Oh, I've got stuff on my nose. All right. And then plans. My plan is to knit the Flammentanz sweater out of the Sulky base, which is non-superwash merino and silk. And I think that'll be a nice spring summer sweater. Flammentanz is a top-down, I could show you on my other new purchase. Okay, it is a top-down, circular yoke shaping with lace, and I love that neckline. Isn't that pretty? It's like the flowers go up into the neckline, so I want this to be out of this. It's by Valentina Bogdanova. There's a close-up of the neckline. It's really, really pretty. Originally, I was going to do it in Sorcière, but Gabby only dyed it on DK, so I got DK, which is fine. But this calls for fingering weight, so that is fine. I have plenty of stash. It's going to be this, and it's going to be beautiful with like the creamy color. This is Ephemera for those who don't recognize it on sight. It was one of the other colorways of the fall collection. So there was Ephemera, Night's Migration, Leatherbound, Ponkin, and there was a blue one. Shoot. I don't remember the blue one. I got one skein of it. The only color I don't have is Night's Migration, but I only got one skein of the blue too. So I got sweaters quantity of this one, Leatherbound, Ponkin. Yeah, that's enough, right? That's enough. That collection killed me in the best way. So anyway, I think this will be a really pretty spring summer sweater. I love that pattern so much. I think they're going to be a perfect pairing, and yeah, I'm excited to cast it on. So I think that's what I'm going to cast on next. Even though I had everything wound up for the Hoki pattern, I think I'm going to do the Flammentanz because I'll be able to wear it sooner. Yeah, so that's that. And I think that is all my whips. That is all my whips. I finally got through them, guys. In terms of what I've been reading for the month of February, I had to mark it. Okay, so in February, I basically read Tana Stone. Only Tana Stone, all the time, Tana Stone. I have read her entire Tribute Brides of the Drexian Warriors series. I'm on the last one now, in the last 40 pages. Really good series. I highly recommend. Love it. If you like silly, fun sci-fi romance, it's great. There are Inferno Force is like the offshoot that comes after it, so I will definitely read those. I've read the first one, and then I realized there were 10 books in a series before that, and they kept referring to characters and things that happened, so I was like, I need to go back and read those 10 to enjoy it fully and completely. So I have enjoyed it fully and completely. So I've read Tamed, Seized, Exposed, Ransomed, Forbidden, Bound, Craved, Jingled, Stolen? I think Stolen was the one I just finished, and I'm reading Scarred, and that's the 10th one. Ignite was the one I read, that's Inferno Force, and now I'll go back and read the other two, and I think she's still writing the Inferno Force books. So, I have read 45 books so far for 2022. My goal is 222 in 2022, but I may get more than that. So what I'm going to do, I want to do one of the book spreads where it's like bookshelves and there's books and you color them in for every book you've read. I'm concerned if I only do 222, I will end up reading a book a day and need 365. So I'm going to draw 365. If I don't color them all in, who cares? If I do, that'll be cool. My idea is that I'll use a different color for every month that I read, and I'll color in the books for that month in that color. It's kind of my idea, but then I'm like, am I gonna have just a block of all one color of book? So maybe then I would only color in every like random, all over the place books. Anyway, I don't know. In January, I read 34 books. So I did a little bit more than one a day. In February, so far, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've done 11. It's the 11th. So I'm at about a book a day. So we'll see where it ends up, because sometimes like things get busy and I don't read as many as other times. I also count novellas, which take me a lot less time to do, and sometimes I read big chonkers. And I have a couple of big chonkers back there that I need to read. Gods and Monsters and Aurora's End. Still need to read them. I also still have all of the Darkest London series, other than I read the first two, Firelight and Moon Glow. Want to read the rest of them. So those are all kind of on my to-be-read list in the near-ish future. But there are a few series where books have come out or will be coming out in February. I'm also going to make a spread that's got like upcoming releases, because I'd like to keep track of things that are coming out that are part of a series I'm reading, so that I remember to go and read the next one in the series, especially for Kindle Unlimited, because I don't always know or keep track of that it's coming out. So like, let's see, there's another one in the Cambric Creek series that was Girls Weekend was the first one. The second one of that's going to come out this month. Another one after the Presley Hall Captured by the Alien Warrior. The second one's going to come out in February. Of course, House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas is coming out in February. So that one has been shipped and is on its way to me now. No spoilers. Don't give me spoilers. I don't want them. Don't want them. I pre-ordered that one from Books A Million, so it's on its way. I'm excited about that. What else? Ruby Dixon has a couple of them coming out. Materis is currently coming out in serial form, so she's releasing like a chapter a week online, and you can read it. And then her last book of her Dragon series, which I think is called Dark Fire, is coming out in March. So again, something I want to keep track of because that's a really good series. And I have to know how it ends. And then there's another one that I was reading. That's like The Horde King. There's another book coming out in that series, and I have to know what's the Red Mist? What is it? Will they be able to defeat it? I don't know. I need to know. So that one is coming out soon. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot, and I can't keep track of it. So I need a journal. I need my reading journal, and I hope it gets here soon. That is what I have got for you guys for this week. It's a long weekend for me. I took off Friday and I also took off Monday, so I'm going to try to get some sewing done. I really want to sew this fabric. It's like white with rainbows on it, and it's jersey fabric, and I want to make a wrap top, like a short sleeve wrap top. So cute. And I have a gray version too with rainbows on it. I really want 2 wrap tops. Yeah, so that may have to happen today or tomorrow. And I have a pair of pants I need to finish up for my blinks. They've been sitting there most of the way done for quite a while. I was waiting for her to sew them. She hasn't cleaned her desk off to put her sewing machine up again, so I'm just gonna finish them because I'm tired of them sitting there half done. So those are my plans for the weekend. Make sure to enter if you want to win the skein of yarn. Leave your comment and I will draw a winner for next time. And that's all I've got. So take care, everyone. I hope that you get time to do the things that you love. Be safe, get vaccinated, be awesome to each other, and I will talk to you next time.